William Kabogo, welcome. When I last saw you, you didn't have a bald. Is this a fake bald or a real bald? It's an artificial bald, is it? No, it works. Yeah? Okay, we'll start, honorable members. Nominee, welcome to this committee. We are to engage you to establish your suitability or otherwise to hold a public office as CS of Information, Communication and Digital Economy, to which you have been nominated by His Excellency the President. We'll start by asking you to take an oath. If you are Christian, there's a Bible. If you are Muslim, there's a Quran. If you are Hindu, there's a holy book of the Hindus. You're Christian? Yes, I am. Yes. Hold the Bible in your right hand and raise it and recite the oath. I,
William Kabogo, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you. You may take your seat and sign to the oath. Good. If you haven't given your original documents for cross-checking with what we have, you can give to the sergeant to pass on to the clerk. This is a committee of parliament on appointments in comparable jurisdictions. It's called approval hearings. Here it's called vetting. We are to assess your suitability or otherwise to hold office to which you have been nominated. I'm the chairman of this committee, being the Speaker of the National Assembly. And I'll invite members to introduce themselves, starting with my deputy.
I'm Gladys Boss, member for Uasin Gishu County, and also Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Kamani Shongwa, Kikuyu Member of Parliament, Leader of Majority.
David Kosing, MP Pokot South, West Pokot County, member of this committee.
Nelson Koech, MP Belgut constituency.
Gikaria David, Nakuru Town is constituency.
Yes, Junet.
Junet Mohammed, MP Suna East, leader of Minority Party.
Naisula.
Naisula Lesuda, MP Samburu West.
Robert.
Robert Mbui, member of Parliament Kadhiani, deputy leader of the minority and a member of the committee.
Owen Bayer, MP for Kilifi North and Deputy Majority Leader.
George Gitonga Murugara, Member of Parliament, Tharaka Constituency and Member of the Committee.
I'm Ferdinand Wanyonyi, Member of Parliament Kwanza in Trans Nzoia County and a member of this committee.
Abdul Rahim Daoud, MP for North Imenti, Meru County.
Mase Mary, member for Teso South, and a member of this committee.
Abdi Shurie, MP Balambala, Garissa County.
Mishimboko, MP Likoni, a member of this committee.
Rehab Mukami, County MP, Nyeri.
Honorable Stephen Mule, MP Matungulu, Machakos County, a member of this committee.
Samuel Jiroge, Clerk to the National Assembly.
The rest of the team are our support staff. Honorable Kabogo, welcome to this meeting.
Thank you.
The rules of engagement are very simple. You address everybody through the chairman. That's number one. Number two, don't engage in any arguments with any member. And three, no member is allowed to harass you. When they ask a question, they're all in good faith and answer them as such. Four, no stories, just answer the questions so that we can, in the interest of time, make good progress. So for a start, I'll give you 5 minutes to introduce yourself, your name, your educational and professional background, your work experience, any key competences that make you believe that you are suitable for the role of Cabinet Secretary to which you have been nominated, and anything else that you think adds value to what we are doing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is William Kabogo, born in Komodhai sub-county in Githunguri constituency. Went to primary school in Komodhai, Kitito, Ruiru, did my CPE, and then joined Thika Technical High School. And in 1978, I left for India, and I did a bachelor's degree in commerce. Came back in 1983 and joined Controller and Auditor General as an audit assistant in Exchequer and Audit Office. A job that was a bit boring. Then I looked for a new job quickly, and I found a job in Mombasa as a business advisor for an NGO, where I rose from business advisor to executive director. Then come 2002, it was the Uhuru time, the generation to join politics and lead Kenya. And at that point, I had become a businessman, an astute businessman, made a little bit of money. And I thought I would join the team, Mr. Speaker, to take the country to the next level. So I joined politics in 2002, August, was elected Member of Parliament for the larger Juja, which is today Juja, Ruiru, and Thika constituencies. Come the 2010 Constitution, Mr. Speaker, I decided to vie for a gubernatorial seat for Kiambu County. And I was successful, and I became the governor, first governor of Kiambu. And why I think, Mr. Speaker, this is a good job for me as ICT and Digital Economy Minister is that I managed, while at Kiambu, to digitize the entire revenue collection in Kiambu County, taking our revenues from 800 million a year to 2.7 billion in 14 months. I also managed to digitize the health systems such that there would be seamless work by doctors in treating Kenyans in all our Kiambu hospitals. Also had developed management information systems for Kiambu County so that from a dashboard, Mr. Speaker, I would be able to know exactly what is happening in each of the ministries, the 10 ministries. So really, that gives me a head start on, because my view, Mr. Speaker, is that the job of a minister is that of a manager and a leader. And with a BCom background, I have learned management skills and I have practiced them. And so I am suitable for the job of Minister of ICT. And as Peter Drucker says, it's about doing things right and doing the right things, a combination of which will give you good start in management skills, Mr. Speaker. It's a long journey, Mr. Speaker, but I've tried to condense it. While coming in here, I read on the Twitter, how is this guy going to manage an ICT ministry, yet he doesn't have a computer? Mr. Speaker, I started using computers in 1992. They were green, and used the MS-DOS language, you know. You know, you'd do CD, change directory, move the etc., and write programs. So I'm well conversant with the technical aspect of ICT, but information technology, communication technology, and the gist of putting it together, that's what a minister requires to know.
Great. We'll ask members to ask you questions. Members, let's try and cover in the allocated time. I'll start with the Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Kabogo, my question relates to the immediate challenges facing the world of technology, both here in Kenya and overseas, that I'd be more concerned about here in Kenya. You know that recently we've had cyber attacks targeted on critical government websites and government services. My question will be, I'd like to hear, if approved, how will your ministry ensure that we have resilience and rapid recovery of these government services when we do have those attacks? I also would like to hear what strategies you have to deal with the growing challenges posed by social media phenomena such as fake news, misinformation, disinformation. What strategies would you promote to ensure that we still uphold freedom of speech, but also protect the country from fake news and misinformation? And lastly, also your ideas on how to deal with the big challenge of concern by use of unethical use of artificial intelligence to terrorize people or to promote misinformation again and disinformation. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. On the issue of challenges on cyber attacks, this is a world phenomenon today. But other countries in the world have engaged professionally so that some of these things can be curbed through legislation. And it's a continuous process because the attacks are getting more and more serious because of AI. Because both AI is good and it's bad in terms of how we use AI. But the challenges are real, and the only thing is to be able to put resourceful people and money in terms of developing firewalls and things like that that will stop cyber attacks. And in real time. And this would be difficult given the status of our country in terms of use of where we talk of things that have already happened. And that is why it's important to have digital information available in real time so that decisions can be made in real time. And that is possible. Social media, misinformation, and things like that. Apparently, this is happening again in the whole world, where very energetic young men and women on social media take to social media to send information, some fake, some real, some by use of AI. They could easily get my picture as Kabogo and use it to spread fake news as it is me who is saying. Suffice to say, Mheshimiwa, that the laws are there. We have, for example, the computer misuse and that law that governs such misuse is just a part of enforcement that needs to be improved, and also regular review of the law, but also cognizant of the fact that there is freedom of expression in Kenya. And we have to strike a balance so that the freedom of one is not used to infringe on the freedom of others. But more so, we should be thinking about engaging the younger generations, the Gen Zs, the millennials, on how to have ethical use of cyber space or internet space. Because today there will be Gen Zs, but in a couple of years there will be fathers. And the engagement should be such that if you put Kabogo in a coffin, as is the case now, at one time there will be fathers like me. How would they feel when their father is put in a coffin? Genuine engagement with with the parties that are sharing this platform. On the challenges of the use of AI, I said AI before is good because it helps. If you want to know something today about anything, AI can help you, because AI, what it does is try to mimic human behavior and human thinking. And it's quick, it's information on your fingertips, but badly used will be detrimental to any nation. We should be able to have laws that help in our behavior and our attitude in terms of engaging and using AI. And from time to time, if I'm confirmed in this ministry, we should be able to engage the legislature to see that we have laws that help so that there's a balance. Again, I am aware of the very, very vibrant constitution that we enjoy today that has freedoms that I would not be the one to get into the toes of breaking other people's freedoms, but cognizant of the fact that there should be a balance. And I think I've answered your 3 questions. Thank you.
Michungwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And maybe just for the record, the nominee is my former governor in Kiambu. And we served at the same time when he was governor, and I was a first-time member of parliament. CS nominee, you have indicated that you are the party leader of Tujibebe in your documents. Tujibebe wa Kenya leader, as a party leader. I don't know whether you have resigned or you intend to resign. If approved, whether you would resign. 2, in relation to the question that the Deputy Speaker has asked on AI. This is a question from a Kenyan living in Finland who tells me he recently, and he also comes from Kiambu, he recently read an article in one of the newspapers in Helsinki on the working conditions that are described as equivalent to modern slave labor, where American big tech companies are using young Kenyans, especially to do what is described as harmful, removing what is described as harmful content or crude content on Facebook, on TikTok, Instagram, on largely main social media platforms. I say that they ensure that they review Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram to ensure that these important platforms are not filled with hate speech or incitement to violence. We watch murders, executions, child sexual abuse, and rape, often for more than 8 hours a day. And we are paid less than $2 an hour for it. The workers described it as part of the excerpt from that article. And therefore, would want to hear what you would intend to do as Cabinet Secretary now in charge of ICT. 1, to protect these young Kenyans from being exploited by the big tech companies working on AI from the US and other developed countries. And 2, to also protect these young Kenyans from the harmful effects of the content that they watch, that they have to go through as they work. And you know, mental health is indeed a big issue and has been rated as one of the big issues, especially with those working in the tech space in the country. And probably part of it is out of this engagement with content that they are finding online as they work. What would you do to protect them? Lastly, on revenue assurance, calls dropping, Kenyans telcos continue to work with, we all work with phone companies or telcos that call drops are very frequent, and nobody ever compensates Kenyans for the call drops. What you would intend to do, plus, because that is a situation where these telcos are stealing from Kenyans as we make calls. But the same telcos also steal from government in terms of revenue, because we have a system where KRA cannot tell how much airtime you have used, because it's a self-reporting system with the telcos. What revenue assurance systems would you put in place, probably from CA, Communications Authority, to ensure that CA has a view of the amount of data, the amount of airtime that Safaricom and all the other telcos are selling to Kenyans, because there is theft both ways, from Kenyans and also from the revenue authorities.
Nominee, you can record the next questions. Junet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the nominee, Honorable William Kabogo Gitau, that we are looking here at the suitability, his suitability to be the Cabinet Secretary for ICT. In that regard, having been a governor, member of parliament, and having run a huge county like Kiambu, I have no doubt in his capacity. But these are the questions I want to ask. In 2010, Honorable Chairman, the late Professor George Saitoti, then the Minister for Internal Security, named in Parliament persons suspected to be drug traffickers in connection with alleged illegal trade, drug trade, and who are under investigation. Among the persons that were named, Honorable Speaker, the name of Honorable Kabogo appeared on the list. Can you make it clear to this committee and the great people of this country who are watching you today, did you or have you ever been suspected or charged with the drug trafficking? Second question is, this is a simple one, during your tenure as a governor of Homa Bay, I mean of Kiambu. No, Kichangi, do you Homa Bay? Yeah, it's Kiambu. You have snapped, they say many times, summons from the Senate. Now, as a cabinet secretary, you will be answerable to Parliament. These are, other than the appointing authority, these are your next employer, second employers. You will appear here every day to answer questions on ICT and those kind of things. Will you be able to appear before the Senate and the National Assembly at any time that are required? And lastly, people also describe you as somebody who is they say tough-headed, bordering arrogancy.